Um, Good afternoon to everyone. Sincere thanks to each and every one of you who have assembled here braving COVID. I'd love to call all of you Braveheart. Let me thank the church as well for letting us have the ceremony here. Starting from Troop 839, 27 and 1219, it's a remarkable journey for all of us. This is what I say about scouting in Kingwood. It's a village bringing up a child. That's how I look at it, actually. In fact, many of my friends are at Pearland, Sugarland, and Katy area, and I chose to live in far off from there where they live. They always used to question my wisdom of me settling down here, actually. Right now, I can tell them, you know what, there are a lot many over here who can take care of my kids, even if I'm not around here. Sincere thanks to all of you, to each and everyone who contributed to their scouting journey, as well as mentoring them. We will remember you forever. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I think women are more emotional and they have more stories. Thank you so much, Troop 27 and Troop 1219, for making this possible. This coat of honor is not just for Isha Kailash. Actually, this coat of honor, I really wanted to do it big way, is because of the Troop 1219 and Troop 27. I think my kids got that eagle rank. I was restricted to keep my speech to 5 minutes. And if I go over it, I hope you're okay with it. But you can tell me it's enough. I'm used to. I don't know how I can the story of 18 years of my kids reaching this stage. I was telling them, I need 18 minutes. And they said, Mom, 18 minutes? The whole church is going to be empty. I said, well, the TED Talks say that 18 minutes people have the attention span. And she said, no, 5 minutes. I'll try to cut short, but I definitely want to share where there is an achievement, there's definitely a lot of hard work. And where there's a hard work, there are a lot of stories to say, right? And there are a lot of people who when I've invited here, they were like, what is this coat of honor? A lot of people not sure about it. But in Kingwood, coat of honor, I think many of us know. Where we were hunting for the house, I was always telling, Sugarland, Pearland, or Katy, Southwest, that's where our temple is. And I was kind of little orthodox, religious and all that. So I said, wherever the temple is, wherever your church is, you want to be close at that part. But I think it's the trees and the woods that made my husband to move. He decided between Kingwood and Woodlands, and we picked up Kingwood. And then we started. And then, so right when my kids were small, I used to take them to Galleria to learn ice skating. Then I used to take them to Sugarland to learn the classical Indian music. But it was a big journey, like we are almost doing 30 to 650 miles one way, and everything is there. So at one of the get-together, one of friends suggested that why not you do scouting? That's something really good in Kingwood. And like many others, I said, what is this scouting? And she said, well, my kids are doing, and that is something that teaches them the life skills, the survival skills that catched my eye. And I said, survival kit in America, because I myself feel, how am I going to raise my kid, because was not very well versed with this culture. So when I came to Kingwood and someone said they will know survival and how to, that's what made me to join. So Green Tree Elementary and thanks to Troop 839, and we had a Girl Scout and a Boy Scout too, and we joined. In first grade, Kailash joined Tiger, and then Isha joined Daisy, and that's how the journey began. And at that time, I was just taking my kids to all the scouting and then coming over. I didn't know what's going inside. And I just saw that the kids are having fun and it's nice get together, but nothing came over my shoulder or my ear. And I was, maybe this is something I've not seen it, I've not heard it, so I can't even do. But then it so happened that after the tiger and wolf, the person who was doing, for some reason, he could not continue it, and Kailash had a group of 6 boys, and right at the end of wolf, that's when one day a lady just drove over looking for our, I think, wolf pack, meeting, and then she said, is this a wolf meeting? And I said, yeah, and she just dropped, and that was Corbin's mom, remember? And our interaction with her as and when it went, and I just learned that she also has a daughter who is exactly like, they are like 14 months apart, and she has a daughter who's same age as Isha. And over the period of years, I've learned so much from her, Miss Michelle Atkins. I was very, for the first time I heard homeschooling, and I said, what's this homeschooling? And so she was full-time working as in a company as a CPA, and she said her kids were already in this Deerbrook Elementary, and which was exemplary, and I was trying my best to get my kids into that elementary, and she said it's an exemplary, but I think my kids can do much better, but they are not able to do much, they are not challenged enough. So she said, I quit my job and I'm doing homeschooling. I said, what's homeschooling? Well, and then when I learned about it, my hats off. I would like all of the non-homeschooling parents to stand up and give a standing ovation to a lot of homeschooling parents, please. It's a lot of work. Troop 27 and Troop 19 is blessed to have such dedicated parents. They have not only invested their time, energy, but they have nurtured other kids with their love, care, and they have seen the potential in the kids, which I think we as a parent could see it. Several times, like for Isha's project, I think myself and Nathan, we were not that involved in their scouting, but I was surprised that how Mr. Dillard has given that confidence in her, and I myself asked her several times, what made you think you can do this project? And how are you going to do it? When we were standing, that was the Isha's Eagle project right outside. She did a volleyball court here. And I just asked her, Isha, of all these phases and all that, what is the toughest phase? And she said, Mom, that building the borders, I really need a help there. And I said, what is it, building a border? But That day when she came, we had the wood and everything. And we had Adel with engineers and a lot of engineers, and she had initially 6 hours for that building the borders, but 2 hours went in a meeting how to build the borders, and then Mr. Atkins taught us how to build it. And the greatness about it is his own son's Eagle project was running parallelly. So the next day they were working full time. That already started, which was a massive project, another one. And not only them, there were so many families involved in Eagle project. I remember Ms. Lucas and Mr. Lucas. So Mr. Lucas was taking care of Corbin's project, and Ms. Lucas was also there for both of us. And it was such a massive project. It went over our expectations. So our initial thing was 8 to 4, and it went, I think, 4:30. And so I said, we'll call off our day. A lot of people has signed up for just like 3 or 6 hour shift. And we almost call off a day. And Miss Lucas quietly was picking her shovel, taking the gravel, and putting it into the thing, and she was trying to take it and put it. And I said, Miss Lucas, I think you are done with your shift. And she said, there's a lot of work. I don't think if we, it requires, I don't know how we'll be doing in 3 days. Let me do whatever I can. And she alone was doing it, so that made me, Nathan, Isha, and Kailash get up and go with her. She did it for 90 more minutes, and 4 more people joined. This is just an example I'm telling you about the troop we are. My kids, not only, so as I said, I come from a Jain family. So I have a food restriction, which my own Jain friend said, you're crazy. And I try to follow it. And so my kids, whenever they were here, so I was thinking like vegetarian and how are they going to survive when they go to camp and all that. But I'm very thankful to Troop 27 and Troop 1219. You took care of them. I don't know how you took care of them. My kids, you took care of them more, and my kids never ever try to call me from whenever they are in. I'm calling and they say, Mom, and when they come back, they're still dreaming about their time, and they're always ready to go back. And let me tell you, it doesn't happen with India trips or my family trips. So, thank you so much. I just felt that this Kingwood Troop 27 and Troop 1219 was another family. I don't know, I have not seen God, but I feel His presence through the people like you. And Mr. Godel, thank you so much for coming. I still remember I was trying to, when Chris could not continue, and I stepped in because I wanted my son to continue the program. And I didn't know anything. You were so comforting, like, don't worry, you have any kind of questions, feel free to ask, any kind of, I used to ask silly questions, or if I'm not done certain things well, you have always, but I realized it. It's like a person jumping into the water without knowing the depth, and then, and that's when I realized, I think although I had an MBA in finance, I had a work experience and all that, I still felt that this was something which I could not handle it. So whatever you do, my hat's off to you. It's really amazing. And I know, I really hope my kids continue to be Eagle Scout and they become inspiration for others. My kids have not only developed leadership skills, but they have also learned to help, and how much happiness it gives. one last example I would like to give is Harvey has not only the whole Houston, but Kingwood was maximum affected. So during the Harvey, there were a couple of families in Troop 27. Their house was literally flooded, and I remember so there were 3 houses, and there was so much need and so much, but the whole Troop 27 families, whoever were safe, or we still had our own little leakage or something, but the whole families came together and chalked out a plan how we can help the families to start before, and we were given one of the family, and their house was right by the San Jacinto River. I was surprised. His neighbor house had completely flown. I could not even imagine that there was a house there. And I was thinking, what can we do? I mean, it's the whole house. We don't even know the ABC of it. But I think it was 2 full days of troop volunteer, and he keeps talking about it even today. He said, it's because of Troop 27 I was able to get back in my home within 3 months. There are people who could not do that even for a year. They were waiting for help. And that really touched my heart, that how much when there is a unity and when there's a group together, if someone thinks and someone leads and we just have to follow it, how much difference you can make it to the I'm just learning. Thank you, Isha and Kailash, for giving me this opportunity. Without you, I think I wouldn't have been introduced to this wonderful troop. Thank you so much. This coat of honor is for all of you. Troop 839, Troop 27, and Troop 1219. I'll be always grateful to you, but I'll try to serve in whatever way I can. Thank you.